And it's a base hit to left field. Paez is going to turn third. He will score. Rounding second on his way to third is Freeman. Michael Conforto with his first hit with a runner in scoring position since the month of March puts the Dodgers in the lead 6-5.
You know, get the game-winning hit. Guys certainly cheering for him, he's feeling the love and the support. He's been going through it, and so I think that it's a huge exhale for him, hopefully. And you get on the road and have a little bit of confidence, expect some good things to happen when he's at bat, and hopefully it's we can look back and say this is a turning point.
That was the manager, Dave Roberts, talking about Michael Conforto. And what I love about Dave Roberts is how much confidence he does have in his guys, whether it's because that's who he's got or because that is really what he feels. And Michael Conforto, who hadn't driven in a run with a guy who was in scoring position since late March, and obviously has underperformed a little bit, right, to the Dodgers' liking this season. But Dave Roberts saying, we stuck with him. That's what we do, right? We keep putting you in positions to succeed. We know you're going to come through. And that's why Doc is so good at what he does, is because he has that belief and that faith in his players, and he knows his guys so well. So here's what's fascinating, right, in this game. It's a great series, by the way, between the Mets and the Dodgers. A really good series. Is that the Mets have the lead in this one. If you go to the 8th inning, David Peterson, who's shoving, goes 7 innings in this one. Reed Garrett comes in with a 2-run lead, and then things start to unwind a little bit in the 8th. Reed Garrett, who's been one of the best relief pitchers in the league, he is second to Edwin Diaz on that team, coming in those high leverage situations. This is the guy that you want to close it out. But when you start that 8th inning and you have that lead, you walked Mookie Betts, right? Again, the walks, like giving those free bases, especially to a team like the Dodgers, who are going to eat them up and spit them out and make you pay. And that's what they did. They walked Mookie. Will Smith doubles, brings it within 1. And then you heard the Andy Paez play, that highlight, right? So the ball goes to Brett Beatty. This is the pivotal moment in the game. It's a fielder's choice. Beatty gets the ball and goes home, and it's not a good throw, right? That's not the throw that you want to make. It bounces in front of Francisco Alvarez. Garrett is there behind him, trying to tag the runner out at home. Will Smith ends up scoring to tie the game. So Brett Beatty has improved his defense tenfold. That is not the way that you want that play to go down. He knows that, and that really gives the Dodgers the confidence. They end up coming back. Freddie Freeman gets the intentional walk. They decide, you know what, we're going to take our chances with Michael Conforto, and Conforto made him pay. And that's what you want to see. You want to see Michael Conforto in that spot get the confidence and say, you know what, you want to walk the guy in front of me? Joke's on you. Conforto drives in the go-ahead run, that winning run. And it's great to see. And I love that Dave Roberts had the confidence in him.
And here's the thing, for Carlos Mendoza, from his perspective, it was the right baseball move, right, to walk Freddie Freeman. Conforto was in a 5-for-42 slump, really struggling. And, for him to be able to come up against his former team, to come through in the clutch and drive one into that hole. Will Smith, the other thing that people are recognizing, the season that Will Smith is having this year, do you know that with runners in scoring position, Will Smith is hitting .442 with a .508 on base and a .673 slugging percentage. He has come through in the clutch over and over and over again, and sort of set the stage for Conforto to come through in the clutch as well. 21 come from behind wins. Think about the Dodgers this year. I think they have 37, 38 wins. 21 of them, more than half of their wins, have been come from behind. Now, there's a story to be told there, right? That some part of that is the lack of starting pitching. All the injuries that their starting pitchers maybe bend a little bit early. They fall behind early. But what they do is that when they, in the bullpen, remember, they got this, you mentioned earlier, the most bullpen innings thrown this year are the Dodgers. But the sign of a good bullpen is not just holding the lead. It's holding a deficit and allowing your offense to come back against the other team as the starting pitcher goes through the lineup for the second time, the third time. You get into the soft underbelly of the bullpen, the middle relief, and you take advantage of it. And that middle relief for the Dodgers, the Ben Kasperiuses, the Anthony Bandas of the world, those guys have got a ton of wins. I mean, Kasperius got 4-0 on the season. Banda 4-1 on the season. Vesia got the win yesterday. He's 2 2-0. The Dodgers bullpen, as much as they've been injured, as much as they've had issues there, they have thrown the ball well and given themselves a chance to come back and win. Because if any other team were going through the injuries that they wouldn't come close to having this record and sit atop their division.
No, you're totally right. Like, they do have the depth to kind of make up for this, right? And make you forget that they have all of the injuries, because that bullpen has been the superstar. The bullpen right now, they're the star of the show. They're the reason that the Dodgers are in first place. They have 38 wins because they're making up for all that ground that the starters aren't giving them. Their starting pitching staff has thrown the second fewest innings in the league. And here's the thing. While it's so awesome, because I love the bullpen, I love seeing those guys thrive, you also have to find a happy medium. That starting staff has got to find a way to give a little length, because you're going to burn every arm out that you have in that pen. You are going to run out of resources at a certain point. You got to give a little length. I understand they're dealing with a lot of injuries, and they're doing an opener, and they're using a lot of bullpen arms because of that. That's why their numbers are inflated. You mentioned that earlier, but I just want to see a little length from them to even it out a tiny bit, so that when they get to October, because they will, those scrappy underdog Dodgers, they're going to get to October with all those comeback wins. You got to have a little bullpen. You got to have those guys healthy and a little replenished if you want to make that deep run again.
I have a hard time looking at the Dodgers as underdogs with the highest payroll in baseball.
Scrappy underdogs.
They are scrappy. Now, the other thing is, their bullpen is getting overworked, but remember, at some point, they're going to get Blake Trinan back, Kirby Yates back, Michael Kopech, Brewster Gratterall, and they've got so many guys hurt that they are going to come back at some point and will have fresh arms. Now, I never loved the idea of selling the freshness of an arm because a guy's been hurt. But that being said, they have not logged a lot of innings, and they're going to have those guys coming back to where maybe that will help them. Also, at some point, you think they're going to get Snell, they're going to get Glasnow, they're going to get Sasaki, they're going to be able to get some pitchers who can go deeper into the game and protect the bullpen too. So we'll see. But the Dodgers right now sitting atop of the NL West and certainly playing some good baseball and finding ways to win. And that was a game that they robbed from the Mets. That was a tough one from the Mets. And yet, something else to remember, the 7-game series is over between the Mets and Dodgers. The Mets won 4 of the 7. And so if there's ever a tiebreaker situation when it comes to home field advantage, the Mets have that home field advantage there. All right.
Now deals. And a swing and a hard shot by the first baseman, Contreras, down the right field line. Salvi coming around third. He's going to score. Jack Caglianone's first major league hit is an RBI double, and the Royals take a 2-0 lead. He scalded that baseball.
There's not a stadium that can contain him. And so now, when you're sitting there and you have Bobby Witt Jr., now you have Vinny Pasquantino, now you have Salvador Perez, now you add Cags. So now this is going to change your whole offense. And what he's going to do is hit that occasional 3-run homer that's a game changer.
That was our very own Jim Bowden on Monday talking about Jack Caglianone. He's been banging down the door of Kansas City every Sunday. JB asking the manager, Matt Quatraro, when Jack Caglianone is going to get called up. The era has begun for Jack. And here's the thing. There's a couple things you need to know. Number one, got the first hit, got it out of the way, brought in Salvi. How poetic is that, right? The rookie and the veteran. And I know you're watching these games against the Cardinals wondering, when is this guy going to get his first hit? And he said he was thinking about his dad, Jeff, when he got this hit, Steve, and I think that is so special. His parents are so crucial to his upbringing. He's very close with his sister, Sam. Like, this is a guy who is Florida through and through, went to the same high school as Pete Alonso, and the Royals need him. Right? Their offense is one of the worst in baseball throughout this season. They've really struggled offensively. They've dealt with some different injuries, but they're trying to get something going. Everyone's watching what Jack's doing down in the minor leagues, which is why JB was so emphatic about bringing this kid up. He was just in college last year, right? Let's remind everybody, he was playing for Florida, for Kevin O'Sullivan. He was going to the College World Series, and now he's been able to develop himself quickly through the minor leagues. And the thing that he does so well is he swings the bat really fast and he hits the ball really dang hard. He is going to be a difference maker for the Royals. He is going to be a guy who can be athletic and play different spots for them. Don't forget, he was a two-way in college. At Florida, he was a pitcher and he was a hitter. And they didn't really know that the pitching side of things, they knew the pitching side of things was there, Steve, but his freshman year, he burned his red shirt. They needed his bat, and he becomes a really prolific college bat. And so the athleticism is there. The bat will be there, but they desperately need him to be the guy he was in the minor leagues.
He bullies the baseball. I mean, this guy is a brute in the batter's box, and exit velocity is the name of the game for him, right? In this era with StatCast and in numbers, we measure exit velocity because it's a good indicator that the harder you hit the ball, the more successful you're going to be. 5 of the 7 balls he's put in play so far have been at 95 miles per hour or harder, and he ripped the double down the line, picked up his first hit and his first RBI off of Miles Michaelis, doing it on a breaking ball. And here's the thing, the Royals have now scored 5 runs in each of the 3 games that he's been there. And although he's only gotten the 1 hit, it has inspired the rest of the offense. It's given them an energy, a level of confidence. And this is the lowest producing outfield in all of baseball, the Kansas City Royals offensively. So what this young guy can do to this team, even if it's not hot out of the gate, is he has got a chance to elevate them all around. Also made a nice running play on a ball in the outfield yesterday. Remember, he's a first baseman, DH, sort of converted to the outfield. And so there may be, some growing pains there with him, but certainly an exciting guy joining the Royals. And they split the doubleheader yesterday with the St. Louis Cardinals in that matchup. All right, we round first, go to second with a double. And we all thought the Baltimore Orioles were dead, but they've now won 6 in a row, and they're doing it because their young guys are